In this video, I'm going to show you how to generate um, JPA, in other way, the Java POJO objects from the given JSON documents. I thought demonstrate this to you that you may come in to such a situation where you wanted to convert huge JSON files into um, it may be MySQL or something like that, where you need to really create POJO objects in your Java in order to convert the JSON documents. So the scope of this project is that I have given a project where there are huge data in the NoSQL database. You all know that all NoSQL databases are really keeping data in a JSON format. And in order to convert them into MySQL, we need to really make a relational data structure, right? So every object in the JSON should go to a separate table in the MySQL and with a certain relationship of foreign or private keys. Not leaving much about those aspects. Let me come to the video example. Here, I have my JSON document. This JSON, even though this is coming from the NoSQL, sorry, that is, yeah, NoSQL database, it's well structured. I mean, the data is created or maintained in a well-disciplined way. Um, Assume that for each and every object here, this is even though this entire JSON in one document, as you all know that any variable that holds the flower brace is actually called a JSON, right? So every flower brace here needs to have a separate the domain class, something like this, in order to save into the MySQL database. Okay, so the goal is I have to create the domain object, something like this, for each and every object in this JSON. That is what I'm going to write. So I thought of just write a small unit test case so that I can simply write and execute and see the result. That's the way I wanted to write because this is not really my project. My project is to do the ETL, like extract, transform, and load into, like extract from a NoSQL and transform to the, um, the JPA object and load into the MySQL. So that's what the project goal. But in order to, prepare that, I have to create the JPA object. For that, I'm going to write the converter. The converter is the creating from JSON to JPA is not really the scope of the project because it's a huge, massive JSON documents. Analyzing them and preparing them manually, it requires huge effort. So it's better I can automate it. Okay. So as a first step, you can ask me, don't have the tool already in the market? Yes, I found that it is already there. For example, I copy this. I should just take this one as JSON, and I find many tools, something like this JSON to Pojo. If you go and copy paste, and if you generate, it really pretty does pretty decent job here. But when I have a huge JSON document, it is not running, honestly. Okay. Even the JSON what I have here, if I copy paste the entirety, it says it's too heavy, it won't run. This particular class is available as a Maven project also available as a source code, which I can download and I can modify. But really, I wanted to go and make this myself because in this result, it is not even giving the Spring Boot flavor. It does, but it's not really some of the basic requirement I expect. I mean, this is really pretty cool tool, superb, but still I need more. So I thought better I can create myself. Okay. So that's the whole context of this. And now let's go and go to your Spring Boot project. Go to the the test folder. In this case, let's create a maybe like utils. Okay, what we are going to really create is utils, right? It's not really uh, the part of the project. It's a utility class. I'm just going to create once. Okay, let's create a file. Okay, can we name it something like JSON to Pojo or JSON to Pojo dot Java? I mean, I told you it's better. You can always end the file with the test dot Java, right? Okay, come on. All right. Now this is ready. Okay, so what is the first step? I told you in the early project, any Spring Boot should have the Spring Boot test annotation. All right, just do that and then go and write your first test case. Okay, just import this. Okay, let's do this first. Void read JSON document. Okay, all right. Okay, it's done. So how can we read the external file? Mm, you can go and I mean first we need the JSON as a file, right? First, okay, file equal to or JSON file equal to new file. In my case, I mean you can put that JSON in your resource folder. From that you can use. Again, I don't want to keep that as a part of the code. I mean, for a document purpose, I can definitely hold it here. For now, let's just go ahead and put that file. Just call that file wherever it is. Okay, it's good you can keep the JSON as part of the source code, so that can be used as a document purposes. Okay, so just copy that file from my computer. Okay, the folder. All right. Okay, just copy this and paste here. Assume that the file has been linked. You can say that if file dot exist equal to, I mean, if this is false, you can simply return. You don't need to go further down. Okay, right. Now I pull the file, right. Now I wanted to read this file as a um, hash map first. Okay, so because using the string, it's not easy to do anything. Okay, it's always a good we can read this whole content as a hash map, so that the hash map can give you you know um, I would say a better control or better navigation or better manipulation of the string data. Okay, so how can we do? The best way is that in order to read the JSON mapper, I mean the JSON file, the JSON mapper is a really handy. Okay, so in order to do that, let's go ahead and type like object mapper, object mapper equal to new object mapper. Okay, so if you really look at this class, this is a really one of the very useful. I would say that almost every Java developer must use this tool for many aspects. This will really convert a JSON to any, I mean, like hash map or any other Pojo object, or convert Pojo into JSON. So this is really handy tool in order to do conversion from JSON to object, object to JSON. Okay, here I'm going to, I mean, this is a variable I'm declaring. Here I'm going to say that um, read the value. Okay, you see here it just gives a pretty easy option, right? So I'm saying that read this file as maybe in my case I need a hash map. Okay, I want to read this the whole JSON file as a hash map at first. Okay, so how do we need to store that, right? In order to do that, let's go ahead and type like hash map string comma object. Um, I would say JSON map. Okay, that could be enough, right? Let's go ahead and import. And why I'm seeing this error? Sometimes this is not required. Okay, just I'm just checking what could be the issue here. Hmm. Okay, let's figure it out. Everything looks okay. This is the object mapper. Let's try to find what is the issue here. Okay, all looks good. Um, Maybe hash map is a implementation of a map. Can use the core map dot class. All right. Now let's see what is the issue. Okay, I did the import. Now, okay, it asked me to cast. Okay, that's good. I'm done. Okay. Does it still has an error? I don't think so, but it shows little red, and I think it got error, but let's see what is the issue. Okay. Okay, it has a throw X declaration because when I read, in case the JSON document is not a proper JSON, maybe it will throw the exception, right? So what I did is the whole test class I just throw exception instead of putting a try and catch, because I don't want to really catch the error here. That's okay. I mean, as long as the whole JSON is incorrect, I don't need to really catch. That's just throw the exception and stop the program. Okay. Now we read the whole JSON as hash map. Okay. Again, please note that the program is all about idea of solving the problems. So you can apply your own ideas in order to bring the solution. You can try the same code or same object in a different way. So it's an idea. Okay. Um, it can be in a different way. So this is not the only way you can achieve this. Just keep going, whatever the idea that you think of. Okay, this is my idea. Okay, now I got the JSON map. Okay, in the JSON map, now assume that I have this particular the root, right? Let's say I'm the whole JSON hash has this particular value. Okay, and now go ahead and I mean, even JSON document can start with the array. Okay, now look at it something like um, okay, let's write another class maybe. um, okay, because I'm going to use some recursive method. Okay, um, create domain object. Okay, I'm just going to pass this hash map. It throws error because there is no such a method, right? Just create it at the bottom. Just as you click, the Visual Code Studio really helps you a lot to make it things faster. So now I have the JSON. Okay, now let's see. Let's find out. Um, so I have a JSON, right? Now I need to travel the variables to find out um, what data type it is, whether it is an integer or a double or a string or a date, something like that, or even it could be a list. Okay, so if this is a list, we need to make sure I mean the every variable inside of the list should have another class variable. Okay, so I get into this part and see like maybe I have to create. All right, let's you know, loop the variable. Okay, loop the hash map. All right. How do we loop? Let's write a for loop. Okay. Yeah, for um, let's say um, okay dot. We can write the arrow function. Okay, each object, or another way, let's put simply like each key. Okay. System dot out dot println. Okay. Dot. Why this throws an error? Um, oh, looks okay. Okay, we can go ahead and do a better for loop. Okay, Java hash map for loop. Okay, there are multiple ways you can iterate. Um, this is a one method, and this is another the typical for loop, and the arrow function also another method. Okay, in this case, maybe I'll take this one, or even this one looks okay. This particular method. Okay, just go ahead and use this. Again, please always refer the code. That's the way experienced developer will do it. Referring the code is always good. Don't worry, you need to always have a should know the syntax. It's not really necessary. Okay, I got the entry right for each entry. Now just print out and see what you get. Okay, dot get key, and I'm just going to uh, print and see what I get here. Okay, just go ahead and run the test file, run the current. I think some unnecessary classes in my dot. I'm not a .NET developer. Okay, remove it. Let's run. Let's see what happens. Okay, you see the particular JSON, printing the values here, right? The decline and change data advances, something like that. I mean, because we read the root hash map, it only read up to this level, okay? Because we did not travel inside of the sub objects, okay? So this is good. Now what we can do is let's go ahead and find out. Um, let's say if get the value, okay? Entry dot get value dot get class. So this is a good method. I mean, if you're a JavaScript developer, maybe you can find out the type of, right? You can find out what data type it is just by typing get object, okay? And type get name, okay? So if you do that, um, it will find out and tell you whether it is an integer or it is a double or it is a list or something like that. You wanted to print this, you can obviously do, okay? Just go ahead and print and see what you get, okay? So let's right click and let's run this. Okay, I have a error in the code? Yeah, sorry, I missed to put a semicolon. This may interrupt the program, but that's okay. Yeah, sorry, that was my mistake. And go ahead and run and see. Maybe let's not waste the time. I just let's as it compile, let's go ahead and do what I have in my mind. But before that, let's keep a copy of what it prints. Okay, so you see, right? It says like the decline is a kind of integer variable, and so you may want to have this copy in order to refer. Okay, just go ahead and keep the copy of this particular lines. Okay, you may want to write some if and else condition. Okay, um, this is not really helping me to copy in a easy manner. Okay, all right, just keep this. It could be so. Um, all right, okay. Now what we need to do in case if it is array list or integer, and we have to do we have to, if it is array, we need to go inside of it as a I mean using the recursive function, right? Okay, for now this looks good, and keep going. Let's say, can we write some switch case? So whenever we have like um, you know the recursive function or the object, right? In my idea, whenever it starts with the object, I'm going to create a new file. Okay, so how do we do? Um, Let me create a file. Okay, now how do I create? How do I create the class file? Just based on the name of the object. Okay, so in this scenario, let's see if this equals dot or equals. Okay, I mean, if you don't like this particular equals operator, you can type like a equal, you can type like this. Okay, if this is a array list, right, you have to iterate inside of the array list. Say in this case, I mean, go to the JSON. This is the array list, and we need to get inside of the array list and see what is inside of the array list, right? So in this case, we need to again go and look at each and every line item inside of the array list. And did we print any object kind of thing? No, right? Okay. Here, let's say if this is um, okay. So I'm just thinking of what to do with it. Okay, if condition, if this is uh, integer, what should I do? Okay, can we probably do the switch case? Okay, all right. Now go ahead and type switch, right? Okay, and put this. Okay, tch case. I will be doing this, right? Break. Okay. So mostly we have a string double int something like that. Okay. Okay. Before that, let's go ahead and do it. So let's use the um, the the string buffer in order to accumulate the domain object string. Okay. String buffer. Hmm, let's see. Domain object new string buffer. Okay. So in this case, what we need to do? So as a first step, okay, if this is string, I mean, as it enter, not inside of every hash map, right? At each object level, let's introduce a string buffer. Okay, here I'm going to append, right? You all know that every string object will have some basic structure like this, right? So what I'm going to do is just copy this. Sorry, this is not this one. Let's go ahead and take this one. All right. Um, how can we take a copy? Just take a whole thing, okay, just an idea, and here go ahead and create a new class, return um, class, sorry, return find a class template. Okay, in that I'm going to return the whole string what I copied. See, people will keep that as a separate text file and they can refer from the text file. There are multiple ways you can do. Okay, maybe even in that scenario, I would say that you can go ahead and create a text file in your folder, or you can even keep one domain object as a sample, and you can keep that as a reference. Okay, in this case, maybe you can find a default string. Okay, I mean, as I told you, better you can keep a separate file and read from the file the template what you wanted to create. But in my case, I'm going to do in a simple way here. There are multiple ways. Okay, um, just this looks okay. And let's scroll down and see. Maybe in this case, we no need a unique constraint because, to be honest, from the JSON, we don't know what unique constraint we might need. Okay, let's remove it. As and when required, we can create them while we use the domain object. Okay, for now, this looks okay. All right, this is cool. And in this program, I'm not really going to use the ID as long. I'm going to really use ID as a string. Okay, for this particular string, I'm going to use something like ID. We need to really use some method to create a unique string. Java has a random string generation method. Okay, that we can use in a simple way. For now, in order to create this, I will keep something like, let's say, util or utils dot generate fuzzy id. I'll write this method a little later. For now, it's not required. And maybe this dot get class dot get simple name dot to lower LOWR case. Okay, I mean, I'll explain this little later because this is a template. I'll definitely explain this particular method little later. Okay, because I need the ID as a string variable. Okay, um, all right, all looks okay. So in this case, we need to say that we need a, I would say here something like class name. You put something like that big in order to do some find and replace. All right. Okay, because this is going to be vary, right? For each and every object, I'm going to have a different class name. Here also, okay, here it is the class name. Here it is the um, table name. If you prefer to keep the readable format, you may even keep it like this. It's up to you. This is a standard variable for every single class. I may need a construct. I mean, it's good to keep the updated it and created it. It is always I recommend in order to create a MySQL table, please keep the updated it and created it. And I'm also going to create a constructor function public. The constructor function will not return anything, right? So just go ahead and create something like this and return nothing. Okay. All right. We all done it, right? Okay, yeah, you may wonder why I have all this. Definitely, this are not required. Okay, let's remove them. Let's remove them. And here we are going to really put the um, variables. Okay, right? I'm going to do simple find and replace, right? let's leave it. And the get ID, okay, this is not a integer. I'm going to put a string and remove remaining other than the created and updated it. All right, and we don't need this methods, not required. Okay, and variables is what we inserted here, and the variables getter and set are supposed to go here. Variable get set. I mean, that's an idea. Okay, it's all done. Um, and let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do the further stuff here. Okay, so here what am I going to really append? I'm going to append the whole class. Okay, just copy and call here. Then what will happen? It will go and pull all the string and it will put it inside here. Okay. Um, do I need to have a really string append because I'm adding everything at just one go? Maybe we'll keep this little later. Okay. For now, what you can do, this is domain object variable. This is for domain object variable get sets. Okay, and here if you come down, what we need to append here, if it is a string, dot append, you all know that we need to create a variable something like this, correct? Just go ahead and create this method inside, or you wanted to create the particular method, still you can do that. Okay, in order to do, find string find variable return. All right. Okay. So here I am going to pass the data type. Okay, and okay, this things we can do little later. Okay, so in case of integer, I mean we no need a not null, right? And the column name, definitely I wish to have, let's try this string string domain object. I don't think it will save in the way. Okay, it does. Okay, that's cool. And return domain object. Before I do return, domain object dot replace all. Okay. Here I'm going to say the name. I'm going to pass the name of the variable. The one it is going to go into the MySQL. Okay. So here string name. What I'm going to do, let's say name. Okay, I'm going to replace it with the name. Okay, I'm done. The next one is what? Um, Maybe string call name. Okay, in this case, I'm sorry. So this one is going to be call name. That is MySQL column name. Okay, and the typical name of the variable is going to be the name. Okay, um, and here is what we are going to have the name, right? Name. Okay, now we don't know whether it is the data type, right? String data type. What we can do, we can go ahead and do Um, I mean, you can do any delimiter or whatever the safe way you can do the find and replace. Okay, and there are many string binding engine like mustache, time leave. There are many string binding engine that can do pretty good job. You can do that way, but for this example, I feel this is okay. You can understand what I'm doing here. I'm just creating one string. In that, I'm doing a find and replace. Finally, I'm returning it. Okay. Now, in order to do that, we need to know the entire name of it. Okay. Just go ahead and um, append the variable. Okay. Here we need to send what the name and call name and the data type, right? So we know that the name of it, right? We know that the key name from the JSON, and let's pause for now the same key as a MySQL column, and then the data type you all know because this is a int. We can just pass the int as a variable. Okay, so I'm done. So why it is throwing error? Okay, it's fine, right? Similarly, now you can go ahead and do. Before I do this, I wanted to write up one more method. Okay, um, I mean let's finish this one also. In order to append this one, what we really need in order to right, let's use the same method. Okay, to make it fast, find the variable get set. What we need here, let's go and take the same get set for the particular item. Okay, with the space or whatever we'll run, and anyway we'll verify data. So just space inside of this. Okay, you all know this is a data type, right? Data type. Okay, and this is also data type. This is a name. Sorry, like this, right? Name, and do this, do this, do this. I know this is confusing, but still you can find a way to understand this. Okay, domain object. Uh, I mean, just keep the variables simply, and you are going to do the same. Okay, all right. Now we have done, but what the wrong here? We need to make sure this one is not okay, right? And again, do the same name replace. But before that, when I in this case there is no column name, of course, only the name and data type. So we can remove this particular one. Okay, whenever I send, assume that a name like I will take from the JSON. For example, I'm going to send this as a variable name, but the getter and setter need the uppercase, correct? So what we can do here, string um, assume, let's say string um, name upper name in title case or title case name. Okay, just take the name value into one more variable, and in this, okay, um, how can we change the first character? Let's say I'm getting if I get this one, I wanted to create something like this, correct? How do we do? So in this case, um, equal to 0, which means the first character, or another way, the title case of first character, I wanted to change it to uppercase. Sorry, let's remove all this so that the code will help you to write, because it's a string, right? You can get the first character of the string for sure. Okay, dot to uppercase. I'm not sure what error it is. The title case is a string. Okay, here create a local variable. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm wrong. Okay, let it be like this. Why it is still throwing error? Add. Okay, I'm not really sure what could be the issue here. Okay, it's not really necessary. Maybe this one looks not right. Okay, um, let's okay, this is okay. Oh, okay. We can't get the first character. That's what it says. Okay, all right, that's okay. Now what we can do is the name dot char at 0 dot to uppercase. Okay, I'm just creating this in this way. Um, mhm. um, to be honest, I'm not sure. Let's say okay, name equal to substring of 1 comma dot length minus 1. Okay, I'm just putting the substring here. Okay, this looks fine. Then I'm adding dot get dot chr 0 plus. Okay, this is looks okay. To uppercase dot to uppercase. What's wrong with this? Cannot invoke. Okay, let's go and change Java string convert to uppercase. Maybe I'm writing something wrong. So string you can write to uppercase. Anything wrong with the code? No. All right. So let's go do some cheating here. Okay, this should work. All right. Okay. I just get the first character and convert that into uppercase, and then I'm taking the remaining character from the name. So this will bring now the uppercase. All right. So now go ahead and do this. What the in this case, how I'm going to write the name, maybe title case name. That's okay. Um, name, title case name. Yeah, that's okay. All right. So this is a variable, and I'm copying and pasting the same one into this place also. All right. So let's use that one as well. Copy the title case and go here, replace and replace. I'm sure this is the worst case. As long as the solution is good, then we can go ahead and review and make something better. Okay. So in this method, we found out that we need to pass. We created the method right here. Find, get, and set. Okay, paste here, and we need to send the name right and data type. Because this is the integer, I'm going to send the integer. All right. Okay. If this is let's say a string, we know, right? We saw the string also. Let's say string, and then it will put a string. Okay. So I call this method. I did not append here. Sorry, I have to go ahead and append, right? And type here. As I told you, you can write any way that you think you can solve the problem. There is no standard way. If someone tell you that there is a better way to write this code better than what I present here, trust them. Yes, it's all idea. You can write it in multiple ways. Okay, and I'm doing the same thing. Before I'm copying too many things, let's validate this code first. Okay, integer, and there we saw something called a double also, right? Yeah, let's copy the double. Okay, in the string case, we need to change this as a string data type. In Java, this is double, right? Let's keep it as a double. After that, what we need to do now, we have the three variable, I mean the get and set, right? What can we do? Can we go ahead and build the entire class, right? Okay, now string class content um, another way, string buffer class content equal to buffer. Okay, sorry, it's a new, every Java class requires that, right? Append. We already written find the class template, right? Let's go ahead and use it. um, I know you have a question, right? So there are some variables here we did not consider yet. I'll definitely tell you. Okay. So the variables, and the here there is a variables, and we did not write variable get set. Sorry, not in this space. We already mentioned. Okay. So in order to get this, let's go here. Okay. What we can do, string class content equal to, for now let's close this. Okay, class content dot dot replace all. um, you know, right, we have something called the variables. This variable I wanted to change what, this particular the whole appended string. Okay, dot get dot toString. Okay, similarly change this one also, this particular variable also, to the get sets we coined so far. Okay, dot toString. Now I'm going to write this as a file. All right. How can we write? Let's say file utils. It's an amazing class. You can just make it in one line, and you can write file util dot util. Okay. I think I should import Apache Java Apache file utils. There is a super class. It really does amazing job. Just go ahead and pull this Maven. Okay, commons IO Maven repository, and search this one. You might have this one. and copy the latest one. All right. Go to your home and under the dependencies, just paste and save. As you save, it will pull the necessary classes utilities for you. Okay, file utils. Now you might see something called Apache Commons, right? This one. Okay, dot write string to file. Okay, you see the file, string, the character set, and append, right? Okay, the file I need to decide where I am going to write. Okay, and I'll come back. The class content it is already given. Char set, of course, always the best way is that write UTF-8. Okay, I mean we can learn that later, but UTF is the right way. You wanted to append into the existing file? No, right? It is always a new file. You no need to append into existing file. Where I'm going to write? I'm going to really write into the same domain object folder because I'm going to really validate in the real time. Okay, so drag and drop, and you can find out the whole path, right? Just copy, and it requires new file, right? File output file equal to, paste it here. You know, just be safe. If you're writing with the existing file, you will lose the file, right? Just make sure. I'll put it like that. In Java, you all know, right? The class name must be must start with uppercase, right? So in this case, we don't know what name we require, right? Because when I read the JSON, whatever the object's key name going to be the class name, okay? But because this is a root element, the one we are right now parsing is a root element, better keep the file name as a variable, okay? In this case, let's say string file name equal to um, did we receive the file? No, right? Okay, just go ahead and use like file name as a string. Go to this path. Let's remove this variable from here and come here, because here is the spot we know the file name, right? Equal to JSON file dot get name. Okay, we get the file name, right? And we need to, of course, remove the JSON at the end of it, right? Say file dot how do we remove the last part? There is a file extension also. Okay, so in our case, file dot substring 0 comma file name dot length minus the JSON is a 4 character, and the dot is, I mean, we can keep the dot, that's okay, minus 4. Okay, and then we need to append Java, right? Okay, let's pass this as a name of the file. Okay, and here use the name to write your class file. All right, if you are going to create a package or something, please do so. Add through extraction. This is the output file I want to say, and this parameter. Okay, can you just go ahead and I know I haven't done any recursive function here, that I'll come back a little later. Okay, for now let's go ahead and do and see what you get. Okay, um, let's go and write like this and run the current test file. You all know that it will create a class file here in the domain object, right? You see, there is something it is created. Okay, what's wrong? It came like to Java. What was the wrong? Okay, because when we write, we send the additional value here. That's okay. Let's save it and just open and see what you get. This is automatically created a domain object from the JSON. For this one JSON, I can even write it manually. That is efficient way because I have a massive JSON like that. I wanted to automate. Okay, in this case, I mean, we'll deal this. Okay, because this is the issue. It is throwing the whole case as an error. Okay, I think most of the things looks okay, but go ahead and deal this particular file name. Okay, so what was the error? We should have passed the file name, right? Then I think we can keep the extension here. Let me explain why. Okay, let's go ahead and the name we created here, right? Let's not append here. Okay, we'll append it there itself. When I bring the file name here, what we need to do, the file name should be uppercase, right? We have written that method a few minutes before. Let's do let's make that as a separate method. Okay, string find title case. Okay, whatever the string we pass here, that will convert as a title case and it will return. Okay, this is a method of it. Okay, here let's go ahead and use the same method. Okay, because I'm going to use the same method in other function. Okay, and here what, right? In this part, let's do, let's say string name, the name of the string. So I think here we need to send a couple of variables, right? Let's say send the name and the table string table name. Is that the variable? Yeah, name. Okay, class name and the table name. Okay, let's not deal this here. Let's keep this as a class, or I would say content equal to, at the end of it, let's go ahead and return the content. Okay, before we return, content equal to content dot all replace all what, this one. Okay, the class name should be changed to the name what we pass, and the table name is here. Sorry if I'm scrolling too much. These are all the simple things. I know you can understand this, and I'm changing this one. Okay, the class name changed to class name and table name, right? Now the only part is we need to send the parameters. Okay, let's remove the unwanted code. Okay, here we need to send those two variables in order to get the data, right? So here we have the file name, right? You all know that the file name must be uppercase, correct? So what we can do, find uppercase, find title case. That's what we return the method, right? Just pass it, so it will go and convert the name as a title case, right? And then, for example, so let's take this case. I told you, let's copy this name to discuss. So if this is a class name, it's better to keep the, um, I would say, the MySQL name something like this. So in other way, I mean, this is called a camel case. Okay, camel case. This is called a snake case. Okay, I mean, Java developer knows this. Okay, maybe I'll post a separate a video to tell you what is, I mean, what are all the different cases. Okay, this is called a camel case, this is called snake case. Okay, so if you look at every new word in a variable must start with uppercase, called a camel case. Every word in a new variable, let's say pre is a one word, market is one word, stock is another word, right? So the every word must start with the uppercase is called a camel case. Every word must start with underscore, and then the first character should be again lower, everything should be lower. That's what the snake case. Okay, we wanted to really convert, if when file name is this, we need to convert that into this way. Okay, can we just go ahead and type and create such a method? Yeah. Okay, string find snake case, let's say string name. Okay, I'll just keep this as an example. Okay, how do we do first? Let's go ahead and make name dot to. No, we should not make a lowercase first, right? um, how do we do? Can we change the first character to lower? Correct. How do we do? We already written such a method, right? Let's go and change the name equal to name character to lowercase. Okay, this will make the first character to lower. Now we done this to this, correct? Yeah. Now how do we find the other uppercase character and convert that into the different way? Yeah, let's go ahead and try. Okay, as usual, use the string buffer. I mean, you can use a string concatenation with a regular string variable also. Um, let's say name buffer. Okay. How do we do? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan every character. If it is uppercase, I'm going to convert it into lowercase with the underscore. Okay. So let's try this. This is a name, right? Dot length. Can we cut? I mean, can we get the, okay, let's go to the for loop. Okay. For int I equal to 0, I less than name dot length minus 1. You all know this for loop, right? I plus plus and come here. Let's do the string buffer. Sorry, we'll come back. So char equal to the name of dot get char at I. Okay, I'm getting the character of the particular index. Okay, why this throws error? Um, okay, I mean, there are many packages available to do whatever I'm teaching here, but you can go and find the necessary library. and you can use always the existing library but than writing it. But in this case, I'm just telling you how to write. Okay, char, this is the variable. Okay, I mean this. If this is really confusing, you can use a regular string. Just do this. That's always better. Okay. Um, mm, char. Okay. Oh, char is a reserved word. That's the reason it's throwing error. Okay. If char is uppercase dot is okay. Okay, I think it should work only for the char, I guess. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, and now try this. If dot is uppercase. No, still it is not working. I'm not sure. Is primitive. Okay. Let's go ahead and find Java char is uppercase. Why it is throwing error? What is the method? The char is a variable. They're declaring the variable. Okay, we need to pass. Okay, this is the method we should have used. Okay, sorry, I was wrong. Let's go and make it like this and put this here. If you don't like the separate variable, and you can use this way also, but to make it simple, and let's keep it like this. Okay, if this is uppercase, then what are we going to do? Um, the string, I would say, okay, yeah, let's go here. String converted char. I'll keep this way. Okay, converted char equal to this. I will keep it like this in order simple conversion. Okay, if this is true, what do we need to do? I mean, in this case, I do a conversion, and I get the first character. I'm just assigning the same character into my another variable. But if you don't like this kind of, if you think this are all confusing, just go ahead and use the name buffer. Okay, here what we need to do, append with the, if the character is uppercase, append with the underscore plus my char. Okay, and else append the character as is without underscore. That's it. All right. So we done, right? So assume that given string is like this or like this. We are converting to this. Okay. And I'm removing this method. And now what I do, I simply return dot to string. Okay. The string buffer is now converted to string. Okay. This is what we are going to do. Now let's go to this part. Okay. The name is we have. Find the snake case of the same name, just pass this one. All right, now let's go ahead and run. Okay, click here and run this file. Let's see what's gonna happen here. Maybe it will create a separate file, right? This one is no more use because the new file will have a single extension. Okay, let's remove this or delete. I think we have a double dot. That anyway we can deal very shortly. Okay, this now this okay. I think something wrong. We will go back. Okay, why this is throwing? Why this is error? Right? Let's go on to find out. Dot Java. Here we appended a one Java, and in the when we create the file name, we we minus only 4 characters. Let's remove the 5 characters. Okay, along the Java. So now we'll get a single dot. That should be okay, and that's what this error will go because the file name is wrong, but this looks okay, but this one is not okay, right? um, Why? I mean, even there is a strange issue. I mean, this is not converted to lowercase. That anyway we know, right? When we convert this one, we did not convert this to lowercase, correct? How do we do? String lowercase dot to lowercase. Okay. I mean, if you wish, you can create this as another way, but in my case, I'm doing a simple append method in order to simplify this conversions, case conversions. Why this is throwing error? Oh, again, same primitive. I think this is something we did it right. Okay, let's do this. That is underscore. I'm doing the prefix the underscore with the mychar and then convert the whole thing to lowercase. Then put this into the string buffer. Okay, now I think this error is solved. This one anyway solved with the file name. And the only problem, okay, this one, but my worried, why this one is a problem. Okay, I think the loop is something wrong. Oh, here we set a less than, so we don't need to have a minus. Yeah, always the for loop would be a little confusing. Okay, now just go ahead and remove this file. Okay, um, go ahead and run this once again. Okay, all right. Now let's see, we should have the file with the right shape. Cool. Yeah, we got it right. But still, you see two error. Let's go and find out. Okay, still I lost the last character. Um, Unfortunate. What was wrong? Even the file name looks okay. Um, right. Okay, what would be the issue? It goes I0 up to the length plus. I'm sure this is not. See, in this file name, let's go ahead and find out. You can even print and see. Okay. Um, the file name what we get from the original point. So it 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 remove the dot JSON, that is the 5 character from the file name. That's the reason when it goes as a file name, the particular file name created in the output, um, this is a right, that is file name is right, which means the file name variable, this file name is perfect according to the JSON file name, right? This JSON file name, this is right, but when we create the MySQL table name and the class name, it got some error. Okay, so here is also some problem. Okay, just go ahead and fix that. String. Okay, right. Um, how do we deal this? Okay, what something wrong with the for loop for sure. So find a class template. We pass the file name. I mean, we take the title case. When it takes the title case, it should take the first character to uppercase. That is fine. And name substring of, I think This is something wrong, I believe. Okay, this one is should be the error, I guess. Let's go ahead and run now. Yeah, let's try to find out other issues. Okay, this is a get class. I should have used um, okay, this one I should have used like this. Okay, what are all the other error? This one I'll introduce the new class. Maybe this role requires this space and one more enter on top of it, right? In the variable part, this one um, let's put on enter. Okay, so it will create something enter like this, and here the space is there, like before column the space is there, but here it is not. Okay, let's go ahead and it is there. Okay, do I have space here? No. Okay, we'll deal those spaces, not an issue. Okay, let's go ahead and run. I mean, those formatting issue definitely we'll address little later. And for now, let's complete the remaining. Okay, what's error? Do I have error in the code? No. Okay, what is the issue? Let's close this. Definitely, I'm not sure what is the issue here. Let's go ahead and run again. Continue. In this file, I don't see any error, right? Look, all looks okay. Okay. Did I do anything wrong with this file? No. But this now got into the issue. The last time we touched the particular character count, right? Is that the issue? But I see error is something different. Okay, let's cancel this and see what is the real error. We don't see any error here. Let's remove this file. We don't need that file anymore. The only part we did is the length we removed with the -1. Is it wrong in any way? In order to quickly test, okay, just go on JShell. I mean, this is another method you may know that how to use. Okay, string name equal to place stock. Okay, name dot substring 1 comma name dot length. Right, that's what we used. I think this is where the error is introduced. Yeah, it should be always -1. What happened? LENG LENGTH. The K is removed. If I remove this, K is not removed. I think this is not an issue. This looks okay. Then what is the issue? Let's go and see again. I'm sorry, this take little long. Okay, this looks good, right? That's strange. Now you go ahead and find out what is the error. Okay, this is error. This is anyway, this part is going to be part of my code. Okay, that I anyway I can simply create now. Okay, create a class called utils. It'll go and create a utils class, but not under a domain. I'll create a separate folder called utils. Okay, I'll move. This is not a really domain. I'm going to move this. Yeah, okay. In this util class, okay, I'm going to really create the method what I want. So still it will throw error, right? Yeah. Again, click and go here. Public static string. Just send the name or a prefix or something. Okay. Just better do prefix. I'm going to use a unique string in order to create a MySQL IDs. Okay. Return prefix plus new date dot get time, that is the millisecond, plus the Java has a UUID concept. This last part alone is enough. Okay, Java dot util dot UUID dot random UUID dot toString. See, this particular part alone is enough. You can directly just go ahead and use it in this part instead. However, I'm not sure. I never tested in terms of putting a billion records or put a thousands of records in a second, whether the unique ID will remain the same, or I don't know all those. But in order to just make sure, I'm still putting the millisecond, so just to be little more strong to make the unique string. Okay, now you see that the unique string is created. The double is a double variable, and okay, this one is wrong. We did something wrong. Okay, let's check. This is a string variable we pass. However, what we get out of this is that everything we got int. Why? So let's go ahead and find the basic mistake we created. Here we have a name. Oh, here, right? So we should have merged the data type. That was wrong. Okay, it's all done. I mean, leave that part for now, okay, because this is fixed. I think most of them looks okay. If we compile this code, then MySQL will automatically create this particular table for us with all this definition. We will validate that. But the key part, I mean, this intent looks okay. Okay, this is the existing intent. We will manage those format, okay. For now, the critical part is, so far we converted the main part, right? We did not go inside of this, right? How do we do? So again, it's an idea. Okay, go to this part, and here you are iterating every item, right? You go this, you go this, you go this. Even if you go this, it I think it should have created a record, right? Okay, no, because we added only string, double, and the integer, right? So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and find out if this is an array, what should I do, right? If it is an object, what should I do? So far we did not get the object. Let's go ahead and find out an array. Okay, where it is, it's array list. Okay, in this case here, right? If it is a array list, what should I do? Let's copy this and put it here. Sorry, it throws. Copy and put it here. Okay, um, so here it is like list, right? This is a list variable. We will not know what is a real data type, and just put it the list for now. Okay, because list really requires some kind of like this, right? Just put it, that's okay. um, all right, but if I put like this, it will go and create something in a MySQL, right? So list is not going to go into MySQL for sure. Then what am I going to do? I will append the list something like this, and in the MySQL there won't be a data type because list I'm not going to put that into the MySQL. Instead, what am I going to do? In case if this is a list, right? Um, I will add the transient variable. Okay, so here we'll add the boolean transient. Okay, is it sorry, it is a transient ent, right? Transient. Okay. Oh, it's a resolved word. Okay, okay, that's called it throws error. Um, just sorry, I just thought. Okay, let's put it like this. Let's not do error in English. Okay, is transient. If this is transient, what we can do is we need to append transient variable. Okay, let's say okay. I think as like as in any other, I mean other aspects. Let's keep it a simple string variable. Okay, is transient or let's say yeah is transient like this. Okay. Um, this transient variable I'm going to add if this is a transient and replace the transient. All right. So now this might throw error in many cases. All the cases I'm going to as a dummy. I mean the empty blank string, which means it will replace with the empty. Okay. For array, I'm going to use the transient. All right. I would say that tr transient. Okay. For this transient, it's better we can add the I mean, in order to not throw error, do you think we have a transient here? If not, let's insert the transient. Okay, tran transient. All right. Okay, all done. This class is fine, right? Let's close this. All is okay. So we just address the array aspect. What we did, if it is an array, it will put the transient variable and then we should loop the variable, right? We should go inside of the each variable, right? We should not just leave it. So let's look at it like the data is a loop variable. Inside we need to go and find out, right? In order to find out, we need to pass each of the item um, to the maybe same recursive function because again it is a JSON object, right? So in this case, what can we do is I have added and now user for let's say int I equal to 0 I less than what can we do, let's say entry dot value is we have a value, right? Let's say list um, because it is a array list, right? The data entry dot get value. Okay, we all know this is a data type of array. Okay, this will throw definitely error, but in that put a string. I mean it is going to be hash map, but how do we sure that this is hash map? For now let's put it like this. Why this is throwing error? Okay, put a list sometimes it is easy not to uh, okay dot no. For now, in order to simplify, I put it like hash map. Okay. Um, then do the list like data dot length, sorry, size, right? Size, then I plus plus. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same function like in a recursive manner. Okay, like this. I'm going to pass the data of I, data of no item of let's get I with a file name. What do we do as a file name? The file must be, you know, here this is the key, right? We know entry dot get key as a file name. Okay. Now this will go iteratively in order to create. Why it is throwing error? Okay, I saved it. Now, to be honest, if it is any array, um, every data here it's the same set of data. Okay, so we don't need to really go to every array, then it will create a same data again. It is just enough to go ahead and do just once. Okay, I think then in that case we should not I mean we don't need to really create a loop something like this. Okay, we should have get the first one. Okay, let's say if dot size is greater than 0, then we could have simply called this. I mean, we don't need really for loop because it is okay to create a one JPA, one domain object for this particular data. Okay, because remaining is simply a duplicate of the same thing. It's getting repeated. All right. So get 0. All right. Now let's see what happened. Go and run this file. Oh, it's error. In this class, there is no error. Let's save. I don't see any error. But here it says the okay. All looks okay. Now, I'm not going to complete the entire thing in this video, but the same way I'll continue to go and find out, test it, and fix it. And most likely, I will make this as one of the Maven repository also with all possible configurations. That would be more useful for. Um, um, I mean, if you wanted to really use the same method, you can use it. Here there is a problem. Okay, let's close this. Now you see whether it has created the proper one. Oh, okay, this was the older one, right? Let's go ahead and delete this and create a new one. So I will go ahead and complete the same method. I mean, I think I covered most of the aspect, but if I come across any new aspect, I will definitely continue to upload the video in the same video. Okay, but most of the thing I'll go and look at all the JSON and find out if there is a new concept I should use. I will record. Other than that, this looks okay. Okay, I will post this code as a GitHub. So if you really see this is interesting and it is really useful to you, you can also take this code and you can use it in your project. I mean, you can just put all the JSON in a folder. You can run all the you know JSON in a single folder and create all your JPA object. So all those things you know pretty well. But here I explained the basic concept. So this is something we need to list import. So now we imported here, right? So you can just go ahead and import in this code. So that would be useful, right? And also we imported the utils. Um, I mean, in your case, it could be different, right? But in my case, this is what I want. But when I write a Maven um, repository, if I push this particular utility class as a Maven repository, definitely I will make sure these are all the configurable. Like you can type your own package name, something customizable, whether your JSON has a snake case or camel case, all those configuration I'll provide so that you can easily generate. All right. Here, I mean, this is something we imported already. This got into the transient. I will ensure this spacing and all. Okay. Um, is transient, right? Here, let's go ahead and put a one space. Okay. So now out of it, did we receive a data? Yeah. You see, the data object also created. Okay, here, what is the issue? The uppercase, the file name is in uppercase, but the name in it, right? It is an error. Okay. Um, I think we have used here, right? So in this case, find the title case. Okay. Just yeah, this will solve this particular case. Okay. So now the data is created here. Okay. The data is nothing but it doesn't have any variable inside, right? Because if you look at this JSON, the data is simply simply array. I mean, you can later use think whether you need to really use this class, but when I have this data, the first JSON, you see whether we got something like an object. Yeah, you see the linked object. Maybe this is a new concept. This could be useful. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Yeah, let's use this one. Okay, put it like this, and we have a hash map, right? Put hash map. Hash map going to be a really new class, right? In that case, we no need a variables at all. Okay, just remove. Um, Maybe for this hash variable, let's see here. I'm not sure we need a variable, but we'll check. But for now, let's comment. Okay, I got the hash variable. This is what the I think when the data read, the metadata got as a hash variable. Okay, so this one going to be a new class. Okay, so hash variable. Then what we can do, just take all and get the entry dot get value. Just pass the same function again recursively and you will get it. Okay, so we need a let's cast this as a hash map. I mean, again, definitely this is not absolutely right because it may not be the particular hash map. It could be simple, string array, something like that. Those things we need to really validate. For now, I'm just looking at the JSON this hash map I'm running, but those things we can still programmatically validate and we can find the respective class and we can pass such a variable. Okay, so let's go ahead and write and run now. So I'll just do continue and I think it should create one more class at this point, right? Okay, this is throwing an error. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this two files for now. Okay, there is no error in the overall class and run the test file. Okay, why this is an error? Okay, this is the Okay, at what point this got into error? Okay, see the metadata looks okay, pre-market looks okay. Um, Here it says the get object dot class return a map. I mean, you can just copy this error and you can, let's say, this is not really scrolling. Okay, is null. Okay, it says it is returning, but it is null. Okay, we can go ahead and do the some null safe. Cancel this. But before that, just go ahead and check at this metadata whether this looks okay. Okay, the metadata is what? This one. But when we read the metadata, this comes as a null. That's the reason it is throwing error. Okay. Um, why this one throw a error value? This is a linked hash map. That's true. In that it is reading symbol and identifier. Where this comes from? Okay, symbol identifier. This purpose got really the error. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the null check. Okay, what happened here? Good, just go here. When I read something like this, okay, what we can do is, if something is null, it throws an error in the compare. Okay, because this prefix, the purpose is being a null. Okay, the problem in order to find out is that if this is a null, we will not know whether it is holding the number or a double or a int or a string or something like that. For now, I am looking at the another value. It is really a string. Okay, but unfortunately the first JSON should have all the value, otherwise this will throw error for now. Okay, anyway, as a program we should not manage the null, right? So how do we do? Can we, I mean, what it really finds the purpose, it just ends with a null, right? What we can do here, let's say string, let's say key name equal to, I mean, get the key, right? Okay, if key name equal to, if the key name is, sorry, equal to null, what we can do, can we stop, I mean, simply return, can we skip, or still can we go ahead and something? Okay, that is something we don't know whether it is a string, but in MySQL double cannot hold the string, int cannot hold the string, but string can hold a string double int, right? So just to be sure, in order to just pass this program, the purpose can be a string, that's the safest method, right? Then what we can do, if this is a null, then what we can do, the key name, I mean, key name cannot be null, right? Sorry, I'm checking wrong. Let's go ahead and the value, where we get the value here, the key, where we really get the value. Okay, here we get the value, here we get the value, right? So let's get the value. Let's remove this. Okay, let's keep that. um, let's say value, get the value. If the value equal to null, then put it like this, and make it as empty string, that then it will string pass as a, I mean, it's not a null case. Why this is throwing error? Okay, let's cast this as a string. String can hold the null value, right? Okay, now in this switch case, what we can do, um, oh, okay, it's wrong, right? The problem is we are changing the every value here. Okay, so here if the null, if the entry dot get equal to null, right? What we can do, we need to really pause here. Okay, something. So get some idea. Okay, this is like null is really not into any class. Null is just null class. It is not even going into the default because we are getting the name of the null class. Okay, if this is a really null, we can better return it, or sorry, for loop, right? Just do a continue for now. Okay, or what are the other way you can do? You can convert, or can you say that instead of continue, can you say entry dot set value, right? We can simply do a set a string value. So let's see whether it solves issue. Okay, yeah, I think it should solve. You all see, right? Understood, right? The purpose is a null. The safest data type is a string. So if the value is null, I'm setting the value to string so that it will still run. Okay. Now just go ahead and this is the way you need to really debug and to find the case and you need to fix. Okay. Let's not worry about this. That's a test case really shows or inject some visualizer to see where the error is. Now let's go ahead and find out where the class is getting created successfully. Okay, you see there are many class created. That's super cool, right? So you see the metadata and then there is a pre-open and then recursively ATO it went and created very well. I think this looks really superb. Whether that the variables are right and the declarations are right before we go and run the code in order to create the table structure in the database. We still see some error, right? So just go ahead and find out. Um, One of the basic mistake here I see is that I always use the MySQL with the snake case. It would be something like um, instead of, if my variable is this, in the database table, I will be having something like this. Okay, this is the way I will use my database. So this is the way I wanted to record in the database. So what I'll do, I'll go and check. So here, if you look at our code, this is part we did it right. So here we pass the call name and the call name is basically we send the call name of the key as such, right? That's okay, just go there and here when we get the call name equal to call find snake case. Okay, um, right, then this will go and change it and then what are all the error. Okay, so here you look at it, the data is transient. Let's go and find out the JSON first. The data is an array variable which looks okay according to our table. However, we need to mention the data domain object here. Okay, that's the way we say that this data is holding the data, this particular domain object as a data type. Okay, how do we do that? So let's go and find out. Um, so this is the part, this is the part we send the, we read the JSON and we send the database. So at this point, let's go and tell that this is a root and we don't need to import, we need not import anything. I'm just sending the empty. So here I'm going and adding something like string import um, or I would say, yeah, import domain, something like that. Okay, so when we do that, now we need to have one more place the error, right? Okay, um, okay, there are multiple places we do. Um, so here we come with the import domain, right? Here in this part, let's say we have a variable. When I have this variable, I'm going to pass this to, I mean, ideally at the end of the day, I wanted to bring it here. Okay, so let's go and string import domain. When I have the import domain, what I'll be doing is, let's say I will just print as such. Okay, that's it. I'm going to just send the everything in the whole as a whole. Okay, what we can do is, before we do that, let's go ahead and find and replace. All right, to the import domain and import domain. All right, sorry, I use some inconsistent find and replace. Okay, let's go and correct import domain. Here, let's go ahead and fix. Okay, so in the first case, we call here, right? Um, let's go ahead and we need to send something, right? Let's decide what are we going to send. Okay, so here when we create a domain, we send the import domain variable. At this point, let's pass this variable to that particular method as such. All right, okay, why this is throwing error? So we need to pass the string, right? The third variable, pass this, and I'm not sure why this is throwing error. So here we have import domain, that is basically a string, right? That string we are going to pass here something like this. Okay, this looks okay, and I see one more place there is a error. Okay, okay, all looks fine, right? Now if you look at it, for the array list, I mean array list is the key point, right? So here when I create a, I mean when I have a array list as shown, I'm just go ahead and look at the pre-market. When I find the data comes with the array, then it will go and create this particular the next metadata, right? It will look for a metadata and it will do. So when I pass this particular variable, right, that the domain object, what we need to import in this part, we need to, I mean, in my case, this is the package. Okay, sorry. I would say that let's go ahead and find out. In my case, I mean, in the array list, I'm going to import dot plus the exact name of the current key. Um, so we are getting an array list, then the data is the current key. So here we need to put it like the data could be in any case. So find the title case and the key. Okay, then I believe now, I mean, my actual requirement is that here I wanted to bring a data and it should have the import of the data, something like that. I mean, if a sprint automatically takes the data within the same domain, I don't think it is required. Okay, okay, I think then the import is not really required. That's super cool. I think we troubled a lot I think Spring Boot does this magic automatically. So I would say that better we can we remove this? Okay, let's hold on for a minute. So here we are creating the array variable with the, you remember, yeah, here we creating a transient, right? At this point, what we need to do is, okay, I'm sorry, yeah, okay, here we need to take that this particular object here so that we will get the data as a part of it. So now this is not going to be a big deal. We can leave it for now. Let's run and see. And just go ahead and find any other error. So this is the one we fixed, this is the one fixed. And later I realized that the double and int, these are all okay. But the string we need to really give a var, like var char, I mean based on the number, but default MySQL length is 255. To be honest, this column is not at all required, so I'm going to delete from this. Okay, here I'm going to simply delete this because it is not required. But because we wanted to keep it consistent, I still okay to maintain. Okay, in this case, what I'm going to do is here instead of um, so for this class we are sending, right, here instead of sending the data type, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the string my, or say that db data type. Okay, all right, just copy this and paste this, and of course as it is the regular find and replace, go ahead and replace this one with the db data type variable. Okay, I mean you don't need to have this multiple variable, but that's okay. You can even write it in a single line. I mean, after end of it, you can just put a replace all again, you know. But just to keep the code very simple and neat, I do this. Now you go ahead and do this here. What we need to do at this point here in the MySQL, we can say that int, this is more than enough. Okay. And when it comes to string, I told you just a few minutes before, right? Var char 255. All right, and the double. This double is remain okay, but let's keep it like this. Okay, and this is a transient variable. We already passed the transient variable. Okay, for the list, let's see how we got it. Um, Pre-open market, right? Yeah, we did not have it for the transient variable. We should not have, we in fact we should not have this column at all. Okay, so this is going to be really uh, I mean the whole line is not necessary. This is the reason if you use any um, string binding or like a time leaf or a mustache kind of string binding template engine, it would be very it would be good. But for now I'm sending the empty. Okay, because this is okay, we can keep it even though it is coming, I mean we are going to add something, but the transient will really skip when we create a variable. Okay, so in other way, how do we really do that? I mean, can we go ahead and clean something? Let's say if I have the data, I mean when I have a transient variable, how do we really remove this line? Can we see something like this? Yeah, that's also one of the option, but I don't like that option, but leave it for now. I mean, as long as it's going to be empty, I'm okay because we are adding a transient, which means when I compile the string boot, the transient will ensure that this is not getting added into the MySQL. So this is still okay. All right. Can we go and rerun and see? Okay. Let's go and run this. Continue. Now you go and check. Okay, I'm sorry for this one. This is pretty wrong. I think it is not even necessary. We should have removed it. Let's go and remove this. So here I put a 3 hash, maybe in a replace I put a single hash. For now, let's remove this. Okay, we enter. So assume that this line is not going to be, and the remaining okay, ATO looks pretty. Yeah, you see this one is got fixed. Um, okay, and this one looks okay. Um, in this case, what I wanted to do is um, timestamp or date. I have to find the time. Okay, so anything ends with a time. I know this is not easy to find like any other int double string. I mean, you can write something like a double hyphen with a double quote or something. Even some timestamp will have a slash. It's pretty tough for. So this time I'm going to really use this time as a key because that's the way this particular data has. I mean, when I look at the source data, I see that all the date and time is really with the time. Now let me go and do that way. When I say the find variable right here, if I have something like assume that the name, okay, let's go and find out here. Okay, mostly this will come under the string, right? Because this is in a double quote, so this will become a string variable. And if I go to this part, if the name dot ends with time, okay, let's say I'm just trying this and put if condition, okay, if the name ends with the time, and I will change the name to name dot um, I would say name I would say dot replace time to at. Okay, this is the way I wanted to do. um, because in MySQL I prefer to do all the timestamp related column with at suffix, um, in a way that underscore at suffix, because that's why I really like to keep my variables. Okay, of course, like in the call name is changed to snake case. The same way I'm going to change the call name also. Change the time to at concept, and of course this is not a string now, right? Let's change this to data type to uh, date time. Okay, so date time, and let's look at it. Call name, date type, date time. Okay, all right, name. So everything looks okay, but here if you look at a data type, okay, the data type is really, okay, the data type is not really date time, it is a date. Okay, and the db data type is date time, sorry, data type. Okay, it is a date and the date time. In order to check that, if you go and look at the time based time, it's always a date time, right? Just go ahead and put it as a date time. Now can we go on run and see what we get out of this? And you see we inserted the date, right? Let's see whether the date object is already there in the import. Otherwise we need to import in. Yeah, the date import is already there. The other critical part we should have checked, right? The date has a data attribute. Okay, the data has the other domain object. You see, this is perfect. We really want this way. Okay, why the transient has I mean the less space? Not sure what's wrong with this. Let's go and find out. I send the I mean we don't need this line for sure. It's transient. Okay, here if the transient got completely empty, so this line become empty. Okay, that's the reason it is merged together. Okay, so if the transient appears, I'm just go and check. If there is no transient, there is a one empty space. If the transient is there, then what we need to do? We need to simply insert one space here. That's it. That's all about. Okay, can you just go ahead and run? Let's see now and run. We can definitely run this test case even the command prompt. That's where I do it. But here we wanted to quickly, refer even Visual Code Studio will really connect your error to back to the code so you can easily debug. Okay, 84 and this is good, this is good, and the variable is good, and the rest of the variables are fine. And the data, I don't think data holds anything here. That's okay. And the uh, detail again, detail holds nothing usually. That's fine. The metadata it really has, and this looks okay. And pre-market it got some error. Let me check. Okay, get data. Okay, here we made a mistake, right? So when we declare the data in the top, then we generate the variable. We missed it here, right? Just go ahead and find out. When we pass the variable here, we also missed the other two places. Getter and setter also with the same object. Okay, let's see. I mean, if I do this, then I think it will come like this data. Okay, the same way it will appear here also. Okay, that's the way I want, and I think this also will get. Okay, looks good. And I think the only remaining part is in order to sorry, I close this file and just go ahead and open this, and I missed the boolean. That is one of the issue, or another way, true false. Okay, there is something called IEP with the true. We did not mention the boolean case in the if and else. Okay, that's a pretty error. Let's go ahead and implement the boolean also. The boolean will be something like this. Okay, in order to find the boolean, um, it's a simple if and else, where here we need to say boolean in the data type. Okay, in the data type it should be boolean. In the DB data type it should be boolean. Okay, it's not a transient of course, and here it is also data type also boolean. Now we added the boolean also, so this one, and I find that in one place there is some IEP caps. If you really go and find out, this variable created with the capital, that's okay. I mean, in terms of Java this is perfect, this is fine, but I always really wanted all the variables regardless of it. I need just like a like the real variable, like this, with the start with the lowercase and the next word with the uppercase. Even though IEP looks like um, I would say acronym, still I wanted to keep this as a um, you know title case based. That's why I wanted to maintain. all the variable in a very consistent manner. So how do we really do that? So let's go and we create the find title case right here. This is a place we really convert the class, maybe the snake case. Okay, and here find the variable, and here to find the variable we get the name. If the name is in uppercase, I think find snake case we already convert to lowercase, right? So when we kind of find the variable, let's see whether everything is uppercase, then change it to lowercase. Okay, which means if any variable comes with the entirely uppercase, I wanted to do the completely in the lowercase. Okay, so if let's try this way. If variable dot um, equals dot to, I would say I change this to uppercase. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm getting the name. I don't know whether name is in a proper case like this or something like this. In this case, I wanted to really create a variable something like this, like any other variable. Okay, so I'm checking the name is equal to name of uppercase. Then if this is true, then all the text, all the variables, all the character in the variable is uppercase. Okay, in this case, what should I do? Dot to lowercase. So this will solve my problem. Okay, now let's go ahead and run, and go and run the test in the current file. Now let's go and check whether all file looks okay. I don't see any error look like, but other than this file. Okay, so which file we got? The IEP local, it is under what? The pre-open, right? Is it a pre-open? Yeah, it's pre-open IEP. Oh, which one? Let's try IEP. Okay, still we got uppercase only, but if you go here, it has really changed. Okay, I find that what could be the issue? When I change the lowercase, I also change the call name to lowercase. So this particular issue will get solved, this one for sure. However, why the getter and setter is not modified? Okay, I think the same method should be repeated in the getter and method also. Okay, I think this is a very bad method. Like duplicating this. I'm sorry about the duplicate of the code. Okay, I'm sorry, but just to move this fast, and I want to really leave this okay. But when I commit this code, I'll really clean this and go and run this. Continue, and let's see whether everything looks okay. This one should fix. Okay, still it got into error. Let's see. Let's find out. Updated time. Okay, we converted the time variable to at, right? Yeah, here you see we changed it. However, when we do the same change, um, time, right, or another sense time. Yeah, this one. Okay, what do we really do here? Somewhat. I really don't want to make this as a okay. String fix variable name. Okay, string name. Okay. If this is the name really not in a proper case, I convert this and I return the name. Okay, and similarly, if this comes with the same, like ends with the time, and do the same conversion. Oh, okay. I think this one should remain there because it does a lot of things. Um, so here go and do like name equal to fixed name, right? And this part also. And I mean, we go back to the error in the get set variable. We did not do the same update. Okay. Um, this one, right? So just copy this and go to the find get set a lowercase. Here also, if you get something like with the time, just rename it, and we no need this one, and of course that's like this. Okay, because of this change, the variable at this part also will do the same, update. I mean, there is a better way can do this, but now I'm just okay with this, and go and run and see if this is all okay. We can go and run the code and see whether the database getting created according to the domain objects we have created. Okay, now this is getting fixed. Okay, this is all looks okay. Now go ahead and open the database. All right. Let me zoom this a little bit, and um, MySQL u root the password. This is my local database anyway. Use trade db. Okay, show tables. Right. Um, okay. Did this run already? Okay. When we run the test case, okay, it automatically connect to the database and it gets executed. Okay. Um, Let me go and remove all this. Drop table data, drop table detail, drop table um, drop table, drop table, drop table. When we run the test case, it really created all the tables. Show tables. Okay, drop table. Oh, ATO. ATO. Okay, yeah. Can we see these? Java, um, sh run.sh. Yes, run.sh is nothing but it's a simple Maven command. Okay, you see this command. I'm just running in this particular command I run in the command prompt. Okay, let's go ahead and see whether it gets executed. Okay, we see some error. Okay, that should be fixed. So some part of error here. Okay, so primary ID, something like that. Okay, there are lots and lots of error here, but okay, sorry, I'm minimizing the text. That's that's mistake. Um, okay, so here let's find out. MySQL is automatically creating a table, right? Now go and show tables. It just created, but I don't think it created all. See, like the one with the details, which is the bigger table. I mean, metadata, right? So the metadata is not really created. I think that's where the code gets error, I guess. See, create metadata, ID varchar, not null. It's fine. Change double, today path, created a timestamp, final, int integer varchar, IEP double, pass price double. All looks okay. where I mean, what is the real error? Similarly, like the same metadata is error. It says the date and time not default has error at the created at. After the created at, it got into some kind of error. Okay, just go ahead and find out. Updated at. We don't even see the created at, right? Yeah, updated is there, but unfortunately created at is not there. Created at looks missing. But in other tables, you see the other tables, the created at is generated successfully, correct? But the same definition is what there in the metadata also. Okay, is there any wrong with the column definition? Symbol, varchar, double, int, varchar. Okay, so here this is like chart today definition varchar 225. So obviously there is no wrong, and but in this case the created at looks completely missing. Is there a column called a change? Okay, I'm not sure whether the change has a error. Um, really the problem with the, I mean the only one column has error, right? Okay, maybe I think this is a reserved word keyword. Okay, so how do we really deal that? When I have a reserved keywords in the column, okay, then MySQL will really a problem. Okay, MySQL really needs some additional syntax. For example, when I create a definition, okay, for example, when I create a definition, I need to add this character in. I mean, just to clarify again, MySQL trying to create a column, but the change, I guess, is a reserved, I mean, of course, change is a reserved keyword in the MySQL. So when we use such a word in the variable, it is really throwing error. Okay, what we can do is now just go ahead and find out, and can we create a variable with such a character? Okay, this will go on to create this particular code in every single variable we generate based on this. Okay, then it will definitely fix. Okay, and close all this. So I just close it as file, and now you go and run the file. This is a very safe method, and MySQL will definitely create the table for us. And right click and run from the file. Okay, this time you can see the same variable with the some special, I mean the special quote before that. This change column is a real problem. You see now it is appended with the such a character in every place, and just go ahead and run now. Now I'm running the same code again, and go and show tables. Okay, now metadata is created, right? Just go and see description. Okay, now you see the columns are created, right? All the columns, even the column called change with a double value. All right, so now it created all the tables. um, I mean definitely it won't create the transient column. In that case we are safe. For example, let's go ahead and look at the transient table. Transient is a keyword, right? If you look at the pre-market stock, the data column would be there. Okay, um, pre-market stock name C. Okay, if you look at it, this particular data column won't be there here, because this particular transient will ensure, I mean this is Spring Boot annotation. This will ensure that this particular column will not create even though there is such a definitions. All right. So now we have done the you know I mean, this is a portion of my whole program where I wanted to take huge dump of um, a JSON. From the JSON, I wanted to really create MySQL database like this. But when you create such a code like this, I really appreciate for you to create everything in a new package. Maybe you can just create one more, package, something like that. Or you can just append something like that, and maybe pre-market stock, something like that. You can append. I mean, even in the code itself, so that when the other JSON when you run, it has the same object like the ATO or a data. It will go and replace. So it is always safe. You create. Um, all the I mean every JSON in a separate package, so that way the same named classes can stay safely in the different packages. So I hope you all find this video useful, and I'll also put another video in the description but at the end of it. So in that I will show how to load such a massive JSON like this into the MySQL database. All right, that will also cover the test case. So when we parse this JSON into domain object and when we save into the database, then it will take care of the testing also. I think one of the basic mistake what I missed here is that I did not write a repository class. That's one of the mistake. Okay, so what we can do here is, I mean, a repository class is not going to do much, right? It's just one line. Okay, so go ahead and write file, right? We have written here, right? Okay, create a domain. At the end of it, just go ahead and copy paste. Okay, output a repository output file. Okay, just paste this, and the repository is nothing but it will be something like this. Okay, so we need to have a different path, correct? So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste in order to copy the path. Okay, I'm sorry. So just here copy paste up to that repository package. Okay, remain the same file name it is going to create and Java, but not really in the same name. Okay, it will add, let's say if it is the file name is pre-open, then it will be pre-open repository. Okay, and in that, what is going to be the, you know I'm copying this file. What could be um, the class? Okay, find repository um, content. Okay, okay, just send the particular title cased file name as a parameter to it. Okay, and now you go here, create such a method. It will create at the bottom of, okay, where it got created. Okay, oh, it's not created yet. Oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to find out. Create a find repository class. Okay, here you go, and return, I mean, like, we'll have the name of the class, right? And we do the same way, like content. Okay, semicolon. Okay, okay, return content. Okay, now you go and copy the whole repository and paste here. Definitely I no need this to method. Okay, um, okay, I just go ahead and indent this little bit. and instead of stock I'm going to use the name. Okay, here and in this part and maybe in this part, it's not a long, it's basically a string in my I mean, because in the all domain objects I created ID is basically a string, right? So that's the reason I put a string. Okay, that's it. Okay, now go ahead and run this. Let's see whether the repository class also created along with it. Okay, go ahead and we did it right. We go and run. Now we did not change anything in the domain object, of course. It just now it should create the repository class here. Okay, it's created, but it got some error. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have done the find and replace, right? Yeah. Equal to dot replace all, and whatever the name plus, I mean, the name must be replaced with the this name, isn't it? Okay. Then close this. Okay. Go ahead and close this and run this. Run. So yeah, now everything is successful. Okay, for each and every domain object, we have created a repository also, right? Okay, so thanks for watching. Please watch the next video I give in the description to know how to parse this entire JSON as a, uh, I mean, as a domain object as what we created here and how do we insert into the MySQL. So thanks for watching. Bye.